Listen every morning. I welcome miracles into my life today. And my dear, before anything else, I want you to take a slow, gentle breath with me right now. Inhale softly and exhale just as slowly. Again, breathe in and let it go. There is nothing you need to rush toward in this moment, nothing you need to fix, nothing you need to chase. Just be here with me, with yourself, with this quiet, sacred space where something within you is ready to open. Because I know you've been waiting for something to shift, waiting for something to change, waiting for something to finally feel easier, lighter, clearer. And maybe, deep inside, there's a quiet question you've been carrying, one you don't always say out loud. When will my miracle come? Oh, sweetheart, I feel that question in you. And I want you to know, you are not alone in that feeling. That soft ache of anticipation, that quiet longing, that moment when you wonder if life has forgotten you. But let me gently place a new thought into your heart today. What if nothing has gone wrong? What if this space you are in right now, this waiting, this pause, this uncertainty is not empty at all? What if it is preparation? Take a breath with me again, because miracles, they don't arrive in chaos. They don't bloom in panic. They don't unfold in a heart that is clenched in fear. They arrive softly, in openness, in allowing, in a quiet readiness that says, I am here, and I trust. And maybe, just maybe, this moment in your life is not a delay. It is a doorway into a new version of you, the version of you who is finally ready to receive what she once only dreamed about. You see, my dear, we are taught to look for miracles outside of us. We think they come as sudden changes, dramatic breakthroughs, unexpected events that sweep us away from our current reality. But the truth is much more tender than that. Miracles often begin within. They begin in the moment you soften instead of resist. In the moment you trust instead of doubt. In the moment you say, quietly and sincerely, I welcome something beautiful into my life today, even if I cannot yet see it. Do you feel that small shift? It may seem so subtle, almost invisible, but this is where everything begins. Because your life does not respond only to what you do. It responds to who you are being. And when you are constantly asking, where is it? Why hasn't it happened? What am I doing wrong? Your energy becomes tight, searching, restless. But when you whisper to yourself, it is already on its way. I am ready to receive. Something inside you begins to open, and life responds to openness. Let me share something with you, gently. Think of a seed. When a seed is placed into the soil, it does not panic. It does not dig itself up every day asking, why am I not a tree yet? It rests. It allows. It trusts the unseen process happening beneath the surface. Even when there is no visible proof, even when the world above looks exactly the same, something is happening. Roots are forming. Strength is building. Life is quietly preparing to emerge. And my dear, you are no different. There are things growing in your life right now that you cannot yet see. Opportunities aligning, people shifting, paths rearranging, and most importantly, you are changing. Because the miracle you are asking for requires a version of you who is ready to hold it, ready to receive it, ready to keep it. So instead of asking, when will it come? What if you gently asked, "Who am I becoming as I wait?" Take a breath. Feel that question settle into your heart, because this is where the real transformation begins. Not in chasing the miracle, but in becoming the person who naturally attracts it. You see, my dear, miracles are not things you force. They are things you align with. And alignment is not something you achieve through pressure. It is something you allow through presence, through softness, through trust. And I know trust can feel difficult sometimes, especially when you've been disappointed before, especially when things didn't happen the way you hoped, especially when you gave your energy, your love, your belief, and it didn't unfold the way you imagined. So, of course, a part of you became cautious. A part of you learned to protect itself. A part of you quietly whispers, "What if it doesn't happen again?" And I want you to know that part of you is not wrong. It is simply trying to keep you safe. But safety is not the same as openness. And miracles, they require openness. So today, we are not forcing that part of you to disappear. We are simply holding it with compassion while gently choosing something new. We are choosing to say, "Yes, I have been hurt, and still I am open. Yes, I have been disappointed, and still I am willing. Yes, I do not see everything clearly yet, and still I trust that something beautiful is unfolding." Take a deep breath, because this is courage, my dear. Not loud, dramatic courage, but quiet, steady courage. The kind that whispers, "I will not close my heart, even now." And as you sit here with me, breathing slowly, allowing these words to settle, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, and instead of reaching for your worries, instead of replaying yesterday, instead of scanning your life for what is missing, you pause. You place your hand gently over your heart, and you say, softly, "I welcome miracles into my life today, not because you are certain of what will happen, but because you are choosing the energy you will live in, because you are choosing openness over fear, because you are choosing trust over control." And in that moment, you are no longer waiting for life to change. You are becoming someone who is ready to receive change. Do you see how powerful that is? It is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about creating space for something new to enter. Because miracles cannot enter a space that is already filled with doubt, fear, and resistance. They need room. They need openness. They need a heart that says, "There is space here for something beautiful." And my dear, you are creating that space right now, just by listening, just by breathing, just by allowing yourself to feel something softer, something lighter, something more hopeful. You don't have to force belief. You don't have to convince yourself of anything. All you have to do is be willing to consider that today could hold something unexpected, willing to consider that something is already shifting, willing to consider that you are not stuck, you are becoming. Take another slow breath, and as you exhale, gently release the need to control how your miracle arrives. Because sometimes the very way we expect things to happen is what blocks them. We hold tightly to one path, one outcome, one version of what should be. And life, in its quiet wisdom, is trying to guide us towards something even better. But we cannot see it because we are looking in only one direction. So today, we soften that grip. We loosen the expectation. We say, I am open to receiving in ways I did not expect. And suddenly, possibilities expand. Doors you didn't know existed begin to appear. Paths you never considered begin to reveal themselves. And what once felt like waiting begins to feel like unfolding. Slowly, gently, beautifully unfolding. My dear, you are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not missing your moment. Your moment is being prepared, and you are preparing for it. So stay here in this softness. Stay here in this openness. Stay here in this quiet trust that something is already moving, even if you cannot yet see it. Because this is how miracles begin, not with noise, but with a whisper. And that whisper is already inside you. Because now we go deeper. You see, there is something very quiet, very subtle, that most people never notice. They say they want miracles. They say they are ready. They say they are waiting. But deep inside, there is a hidden tension, a small, almost invisible resistance, a question that lingers beneath the surface. Am I really safe to receive this? And my dear, this is not something to feel ashamed of. This is something to understand with tenderness, because sometimes what we think we want also carries a quiet fear. Think about it for a moment. If your life suddenly changed, if that opportunity arrived, if that love appeared, if that breakthrough finally happened, would everything stay the same? Or would something in your life shift, expand, require you to step into a new version of yourself? Take a breath, because this is where many hearts gently close without even realizing it. Not because they don't want the miracle, but because they are unsure of who they will have to become to hold it. And so they wait, they hope, they affirm. But at the same time, they unconsciously hold back. They keep one foot in the familiar, even if the familiar is uncomfortable, even if the familiar is limiting. Because the familiar feels safe, even when it no longer feels good. My dear, have you ever noticed that? That strange comfort in what you already know, even when you are ready for more? That quiet hesitation when something new begins to approach? That moment when life starts to open and a part of you whispers, "What if I'm not ready?" Oh, come closer for a moment, because I want to tell you something very gently. You don't need to be perfect to receive your miracle. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to become someone else entirely. You simply need to become willing to expand. And expansion feels unfamiliar at first. It stretches you. It asks you to release old patterns, old beliefs, old ways of seeing yourself. It asks you to let go of the version of you who believed she had to struggle, who believed she had to chase, who believed she had to prove her worth. And I know, letting go of that identity can feel strange, because even though it was heavy, it was known. Even though it was tiring, it was familiar. But my dear, miracles do not enter the life of the version of you who is still holding on to those old stories. They enter when you begin to soften those stories. When you begin to gently say, maybe I don't have to struggle the way I used to. Maybe things can come to me with more ease. Maybe I am allowed to receive without exhaustion. Take a breath. Feel that possibility. Because this is where everything begins to shift, not in the outside world, but within you. You are not forcing your life to change. You are allowing yourself to change, and life responds to that. Let me give you a soft image to hold on to. Imagine you are standing at a door. Behind you is everything you have known, your habits, your fears, your patterns, your old identity, and in front of you is another door. You cannot fully see what is behind it, but you feel something, a quiet pull, a gentle knowing, a sense that something more is waiting there. Now, here is the question, my dear. Are you willing to step forward, even before you have proof? Because that step, that small, quiet step, is what opens the door. Not certainty, not guarantees, not perfect readiness, just willingness. And this is why every morning matters, because every morning you are given a new space, a new beginning, a new moment to choose who you will be. And when you wake up, before the world rushes in, before your thoughts begin to repeat yesterday, you have a sacred opportunity to align yourself with openness, to say, today, I am not closing myself off. Today, I am not shrinking into old patterns. Today, I welcome something new. And my dear, it does not have to be loud. It does not have to be dramatic. It can be as soft as a whisper. I welcome miracles into my life today. Say it again, slowly, gently, within yourself. I welcome miracles into my life today. Do you feel how those words don't push? They don't demand. They don't chase. They simply open. And that is the energy of receiving. Receiving is not about effort. It is about allowance. It is about being present, open, available. And this is why your emotional state matters so deeply. Because your emotions, they are like signals. They tell life what you are ready for. When you are in fear, in doubt, in tension, your body closes, your energy tightens, and even if something beautiful tries to enter, there is no space for it. But when you soften, when you breathe, when you trust, even a little, your entire being opens, and suddenly, what once felt distant begins to move closer. So let me guide you gently, right here. Take a slow breath in, and as you inhale, imagine you are creating space inside your chest. Soft space, warm space, safe space. And as you exhale, release the need to control. Release the need to figure everything out. Release the need to know exactly how your miracle will arrive. Again, inhale, I am open. Exhale, I allow. Stay with that feeling for a moment, because this is the frequency of receiving, not force, not urgency, but openness. And my dear, you can return to this again and again, especially in the quiet moments, especially in the mornings, especially when your mind begins to wander back into old patterns. You don't have to fight your thoughts. You don't have to silence your fears. You simply return gently to openness. And over time, something beautiful begins to happen. The old patterns begin to soften. The old fears begin to lose their grip. The old identity begins to dissolve. And a new version of you begins to emerge. A version of you who trusts more, who receives more, who allows more, who no longer believes that everything must be hard or delayed or out of reach. And as this version of you grows, life begins to mirror it, because life is always responding to who you are being. So, my dear, let me ask you something softly. Who are you becoming today? Not in a pressured way, not in a forced way, but in a gentle, unfolding way. Are you becoming someone who expects disappointment? Or someone who is open to surprise? Are you becoming someone who braces for struggle? Or someone who allows ease to enter? Are you becoming someone who waits in fear? Or someone who waits in trust? Take a breath, because your answer does not have to be perfect. It only needs to be intentional. And even the smallest shift matters. Even the softest thought matters. Even the quietest moment of openness matters. Because that is how transformation happens. Not all at once, but slowly, gently, consistently. Like a sunrise, gradual, steady, inevitable. And my dear, your life is already beginning to change. Not because something dramatic has happened yet, but because you are changing. You are softening. You are opening. You are becoming ready. And that is the beginning of every miracle. So stay here with me just a little longer. Breathe, allow, trust. Listen every morning. I welcome miracles into my life today. And my dear, feel how different those words begin to feel now. Not just something you say, but something you are becoming. Take a slow breath with me. Inhale softly and exhale gently. Because now we bring this into your life, into your quiet moments, into the way you move through your day, into the way you speak to yourself when no one else is listening. You see, my dear, miracles are not only in the big moments. They are not only in sudden changes or dramatic breakthroughs. They live in the smallest shifts, in the way you choose peace instead of pressure, in the way you pause instead of panic, in the way you soften instead of tighten. And I want you to begin noticing these moments, not as something insignificant, but as evidence. Evidence that something within you is already transforming. Because the moment you choose a new thought, the moment you choose a softer response, the moment you choose trust, even when uncertainty is present, you are already stepping into a new reality. And life gently begins to rearrange itself around that. So let me guide you into something very simple, very real, something you can carry with you every day. When you wake up tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you think about your responsibilities, before you revisit yesterday, I want you to pause just for a few seconds. Place your hand gently over your heart and feel your breath, feel your presence, feel yourself here. And then softly, with no pressure, no urgency, say within yourself, I welcome miracles into my life today. Not because you need to convince yourself, but because you are opening a door. And then just sit with that feeling, even if it's faint, even if it's quiet, even if it's just a small sense of softness in your chest. That is enough. That is more than enough, because you are not trying to create a perfect feeling. You are simply allowing a new one. And as you move through your day, I want you to carry a gentle awareness, not a strict rule, not something you have to do perfectly, but a soft remembering, a question you return to again and again. How can I stay open right now? Not in a complicated way, just in a gentle way. If something doesn't go as planned, pause, take a breath, and instead of immediately closing into frustration, whisper softly within yourself, I am still open. If something feels uncertain, If you don't have all the answers, if things are not yet clear, instead of rushing into fear, place your attention back into your body, into your breath, and say, I allow things to unfold. Do you feel how different that is? You are no longer reacting to life. You are responding with awareness. And that, my dear, is where your power lives. Not in controlling everything, but in choosing your state, moment by moment. And I know there will be moments when you forget. Moments when old thoughts return. Moments when fear feels louder than trust. That is okay. That is human. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to gently return. Again, and again, and again. Each time you remember, each time you pause, each time you soften, you are strengthening something new within you. A new way of being, a new way of experiencing life. And over time, this becomes natural. This becomes who you are. So now, let's slow down even more together, because I want to guide you into a soft affirmation, not as something you repeat quickly, but as something you feel deeply. Take a breath and allow these words to move through you gently. I am open to receiving beautiful surprises today. Pause. I do not need to know how. I only need to allow. Pause. Life is supporting me, even when I cannot yet see it. Pause. I am safe to receive more. Pause. I trust the timing of my life. Pause. And I welcome miracles in expected and unexpected ways. Stay here for a moment. Let those words echo softly within you. You don't need to force belief. You don't need to analyze anything. Just let the feeling gently settle. Because affirmations are not about repetition alone. They are about resonance, about allowing your body to slowly become familiar with a new emotional state. And as this state becomes familiar, it becomes natural. And what is natural becomes your reality. Now, my dear, let's talk about something very gentle, but very important. There may be moments when something good begins to enter your life. A small opportunity, a kind gesture, an unexpected shift. And instead of fully receiving it, you minimize it. You question it. You brush it aside. You say, it's nothing. It won't last. It's probably just coincidence. Oh, sweetheart, this is where many miracles quietly pass by, unnoticed. Not because they weren't real, but because they weren't recognized. So from today, I want you to practice something very simple. When something good happens, no matter how small, pause, feel it, acknowledge it, and say, thank you, I receive this. Let yourself feel it fully, even if it's just for a few seconds, because what you appreciate expands. What you receive multiplies. And what you acknowledge becomes more visible in your life. This is not about forcing positivity. It is about allowing recognition, because miracles are not always loud. Sometimes they are quiet. A conversation that shifts something inside you, a moment of peace you didn't expect, a door that opens gently instead of dramatically. And if you are always looking for something big, you may miss the magic in what is already arriving. So slow down, notice, receive. Let life show you that it is already responding. And my dear, there is one more thing I want to whisper to your heart. You do not need to earn your miracle. You do not need to prove yourself. You do not need to become worthy. You already are, right here, right now. As you breathe, as you listen, as you open, you are already enough to receive something beautiful. So release that quiet pressure, that feeling that you must do more, be more, fix more, and instead allow yourself to simply be. Be present, be open, be willing, because sometimes the greatest shift happens, not when you try harder, but when you finally soften and let yourself receive. Take a deep breath, feel your body, feel your heart, feel the quiet space you have created within yourself, and know this: something is already changing. Even now, even here, even in this very moment, you are no longer the same person who began this journey. You are more open, more aware, more ready, and life is meeting you in that space. So as you move forward from here, carry this with you gently, not as pressure, but as a quiet knowing that each day, each breath, each moment is an opportunity to open just a little more, to trust just a little deeper, to receive just a little more fully. And my dear, miracles do not need perfection. They only need a willing heart. And you are already becoming that. So tonight, when you rest, and tomorrow, when you rise, return to this softness, return to this trust, return to this quiet, powerful truth. I welcome miracles into my life today, and let life surprise you.